economy news for the month of November 2024. October GST collection surged by 8.9% year-on-year to reach Rs 1.87 lakh crore. GST collections in October reached Rs 1.87 lakh crore, marking an 8.9% increase year-on-year. This robust collection based on September sales represents the second highest level of monthly GST collection since the indirect tax regime's inception in July 2017. The rise is primarily attributed to stronger domestic transactions, with revenue from imports experiencing slower growth, as detailed by the Ministry of Finance in data released on Friday. Canara Bank aims for Rs 6,000 crore recovery in H2 fiscal year 25. State-owned Canara Bank is setting a significant target for loan recovery, aiming to recoup approximately Rs 6,000 crore from bad loans in the second half of the current fiscal year. This strategic goal reflects the bank's ongoing efforts to improve assets quality while building on its recent financial performance. Cabinet approves Rs 10,700 crore equity infusion for FCI. In a significant financial boost, the Union Cabinet approved an equity infusion of Rs 10,700 crore for the Food Corporation of India on Wednesday. This move is expected to reduce FCI's dependency on high-interest debt for funding its large-scale food distribution efforts. It aligns with the government's ongoing strategy to enhance food security and minimize subsidiary burdens. Government reconstitute CAC to strengthen apprenticeship training and drive industry reforms. In a move to enhance apprenticeship programs across India, the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship has reconstructed the Central Apprenticeship Council, tasked with reforming, extending rules and promoting industry adoption of on-to-on job training. This reconstituted council with a 3-year mandate is designed to bolster apprenticeship opportunities and encourage workforce development. Supreme Court overturns 1967 ruling on AMUS minority status. In a historic 4-3 decision on November 8, 2024, the Supreme Court overturned its 1967 ruling in the Aziz Basha case, which had denied Aligarh Muslim University minority institution status. This landmark judgment paves the way for AMUS minority status to be reassignated based on its historical, administrative, and founding context, under the protective framework of Article 30 of the Indian Constitution. While AMUS status remains undisputed, the verdict has crucial implications for how educational institutions are recognized under constitutional provisions. 5th National EMRS Fest celebrates tribal heritage and AMP Birsa Munda's legacy. The 5th National EMRS Cultural and Literacy Fest and Kala Utsav, organized by the National Education Society for Tribal Students, is taking place from 12th to 15th November 2024 in Bhubaneswar, Odisha at Siksha Om Amusandan. This event, hosted by the Odisha Model Tribal Educational Society, marks a significant moment in honoring the 150th birth anniversary of Bhagwan Birsa Munda, with the theme A Tribute to Bhagwan Birsa Munda and Tribal Freedom Fighters. This event underscores the deep connection between India's tribal communities, their culture and their history. 55th International Film Festival of India, a celebration of global cinema in Goa. The International Film Festival of India is set to begin its 55th edition in Panaji, Goa. This annual event, which has become synonymous with cinematic excellence, is once again transforming Goa into a lively hub of global culture, talent and cinema. For film enthusiastic industry leaders and aspiring filmmakers, IFFI offers a platform not only to showcase their films but also to experience a unique blend of artistic celebration and cultural exchange. Amit Shah greenlights Rs 725.62 crore for fire workers expansion. In a major step towards enhancing disaster resilience, Union Home Minister Amit Shah has approved three significant projects worth Rs 725.62 crore under the expansion and modernization of fire services in the states. These projects aims to bolstering fire safety infrastructure will benefit Chhattisgarh, Odisha and West Bengal. This approval comes as a part of government's broader effort to strengthen disaster management and response systems in line with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of a disaster-resilient India. Consumer Price Index for October 2024 key highlights. All India CPI General, the inflation rate for October 2024 is 6.21%, with rural areas seeing a higher inflation of 6.68% compared to 5.62% in the urban areas. Consumer Food Price, the inflation rate for food items stands at 10.87% for October 2024, with rural inflation at 10.69% and urban inflation at 9.09%. India's industrial output grows 3.1% in September 2024. India's industrial production recorded a growth of 3.1% in September 2024, marking a significant rebound from the 0.1% contraction in August. This growth is attributed to a strong performance in manufacturing alongside modest increase in electricity generation and mining. However, compared to the same month last year, the growth rate has slowed from 6.4% in September 2023, indicating a more tempered industrial recovery. PSBS posts strong H1 FY25 growth driven by reforms and technology. Public sector banks have shown a strong performance in the first half of fiscal year 24-25 with an 11% year-on-year growth in aggregative business, reaching Rs 236 trillion. This growth has been driven by significant reforms, technological advancement and a focus on improving governance and credit discipline. Deposit growth matches credit amid lending slowdown. In the fortnight enduring November 1, 2024, deposit growth nearly matched credit growth, with credit increasing by 11.9% and deposit growing by 11.83% year-on-year. According to data released by the Reserve Bank of India, this alignment comes after a period where credit growth consistently outpaced deposit growth since March 2022, driven by a significant widening gap that reached a high as 700 basis points. The shift reflects the impact of RBI's regulatory measures and the modernization of credit growth, especially in sectors like unsecured loans and non-banking financial companies. India's exports saw 17% in October. Trade deficit hits 27 billion. India's merchandise exports witnessed a remarkable 17.3% growth in October, the fastest in 28 months, reaching 39.2 billion. This surge was driven by pre-Christmas inventory build-up in Western countries, boosting demand for goods like engineering products, electronic goods, chemicals and garments. However, this export growth came alongside an all-time high in imports, which surged 3.9% to 66.34 billion. Resulting in a trade deficit of Rs 27.1 billion, up from 20.8 billion in September. WPI inflation soars to 4-month high of 2.36% in October amid surge in food prices. India's wholesale price index based on inflation surged to a 4-month high of 2.36% in October, up from 1.84% in September. This rise was primarily driven by a sharp increase in food prices, particularly vegetables, aligning with recent consumer price index data that also reported a 14-month high in retail inflation at 6.2%, spurred by a similar rise in food prices. This marks a significant shift from the lower inflation rates observed earlier in the year. India's outward FDI hits 3.7 billion in October 2024. India's outward foreign direct investments saw a notable rise in October 2024 with total commitments reaching 3.7 billion up from 2.55 billion in October 2023. According to the Reserve Bank of India, however, there was a sequential decline from 3.77 billion in September 2024. The outbound FDI includes equity, loans and guarantees which showed varied trends in their respective components. Fastest growing G20 economic, India's 7% GDP growth top G20 chart. India has emerged as the fastest growing economy among G20 countries with a projected GDP growth rate of 7% from 2024. This remarkable achievement highlights India's economic resilience and potential amidst global challenges. The ranking released during the ongoing G20 summit in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, underscores the disparity in growth rates among G20 nations and set the stage for discussions on sustainable development, global governance reforms and strategies to combat poverty, hunger and inequality. India's unemployment rate drops to 6.4% in Q2. In the July-September 2024 quarter, India's urban unemployment rate decreased to 6.4%, marking the lowest level observed in recent years. The rate has dropped from 6.6% in the previous quarter and remains consistent with the rate recorded in the same period last year. This improvement reflects positive trends in employment, particularly in urban areas, indicating progress in job creation and labor force participation. Morgan Stanley cuts India's FY25 growth forecast to 6.7%. Morgan Stanley has revised India's fiscal year 25 growth forecast from 7% to 6.7% due to weaker than expected economic data from Q2, with the economy now projected to grow at a slower 6.3%. Despite this downgrade, the firm remains optimistic about a recovery in the later half of fiscal year 25, anticipating growth to rebound to around 6.7 to 6.8%, driven by agricultural output and government spending. Zomato to replace JSW Steel on BSE Sensex from December 23. On November 22, 2024, the Asia Index Private Limited, a subsidiary of the Bombay Stock Exchange, announced the latest reconstitution of the benchmark BSE Sensex Index. As part of this rigging, Zomato, the online food delivery chain, will replace JSW in the 30 stock index. This reshuffling will take effect from December 23, 2024 and includes changes in other indices such as the BSE 100, BSE Sensex 50 and BSE Sensex Next 50. India's forex reserve sees sharpest weekly fall in record hit 4-month low. India's foreign exchange reserve has suffered their largest weekly drop on record, falling by 17.76 billion to a 4-month low of 657.8 billion for the week ending November 15, 2024. This marks the sharpest decline since records began in 1998, surpassing the previous high of 15.5 billion during the global financial crisis of October 2008. The primary causes for the fall include the strengthening of the US dollar, the Reserve Bank of India intervention to protect the rupee, and declining gold prices. S&P Global revises India's GDP and inflation projections. S&P Global Ratings maintain India's GDP growth forecast for fiscal year 25 at 6.8%, while revising fiscal year 26 down to 6.7% from the earlier estimate of 6.9%. The agency also raised its inflation projection for fiscal year 25 to 4.6%, reflecting persistent food inflation and supply shocks in agriculture, caused by climate factors like changing rainfall patterns and heat waves. The RBI, mandated to keep inflation at 4% plus or minus 2%, is expected to cut policy rates only once this fiscal year, with the repo rate held steady at 6.5% since February 2023. GST collection on health and life insurance. The Union Government collected Rs 16,398 crore as GST from health and life insurance serving in fiscal year 24, reflecting a significant 680% increase from 2,107 crore in fiscal year 20. However, this marked a slight drop compared to 16,770 crore in 23. Life insurance contributed 8,135 crore, while health insurance added 8,263 crore in fiscal year 24. Additionally, 2,045 crore was raised from reinsurance services with 561 crore from life reinsurance and 1484 crore from health reinsurance. Specific schemes like Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana and Jan Arogya Bima policy remain exempt from GST. India's milk production surged by 3.78% in 23-24. India's milk production has seen a 3.78% increase, reaching 239.30 million tons in 23-24, maintaining its position as the world's largest milk producer according to the Basic Animal Husbandry Statistics 2024 report. This growth is attributed to better productivity in milch cattle and an increase in per capita milk availability. India's core sector growth picks up with 3.1% growth in October. India's core sector growth improved to 3.1% in October, marking the second consecutive month of recovery. This growth comes after revised 2.4% growth in September and follows a 22-month low contractions of 0.1% in August. The core sector, which includes coal, crude oil, natural gas, refinery product, fertilizers, steel, cement and electricity, accounts for 40% of the index of industrial production. India secures Rs 98 million ADP loan to enhance horticulture health. India has secured a 98 million loan for the Asian Development Bank to enhance horticulture productivity by promoting plant health management. This initiative aligns with the Government of India's Atam Bihar Clean Plant Program and aims to increase crop yields, improve quality and build resilience against climate change. Thank you.